The comment came out the way it always did, casual, half joking, said loudly enough that everyone heard. We were sitting around my parents' dining table, the same one they'd had since I was in middle school. My sister's latest business milestone was the reason for dinner. My dad had been in a good mood all evening, telling the story of how she started her company. From nothing. She built everything herself, he said, lifting his glass toward her. That's what real drive looks like. Everyone nodded. Then he looked at me. And then there's this one, he added, chuckling. Still figuring things out. Always been the softer one. A few people laughed politely. I kept my eyes on the plate in front of me. It wasn't new. My sister had always been the impressive one. She was confident, decisive, the kind of person people described as self-made. I'd never argued with that. She worked hard. She took risks, but there were parts of the family story no one ever talked about. My dad kept going. You should learn something from your sister, he said. She didn't wait around. She built something. The room felt warm, crowded. I noticed my mom quietly adjusting her napkin. My sister stared into her drink like she had heard this speech 100 times. I said something before I could talk myself out of it. Then I guess I'm done paying the bills. It wasn't loud, just steady. My dad leaned back in his chair and laughed. Yeah, okay, he said. Sure you are. He thought I was being sarcastic. For years that had been the arrangement no one acknowledged. I covered most of my parents' monthly expenses. The utilities, their insurance, part of the mortgage after my dad retired. Sometimes medical bills, quiet transfers from my account every month. No one ever asked how it worked. They just assumed it did. My sister shifted slightly in her chair. Wet, my mom said softly. What bills? My dad waved a hand dismissively. He's joking, he said. If he had that kind of money he wouldn't still be. I interrupted him. I've been paying them for 4 years. The table went quiet in that uncomfortable way where no one wants to react first. My dad frowned. What are you talking about? I didn't raise my voice. I didn't feel angry, exactly. Mostly I felt tired. The house insurance, electric, water. The hospital bill when mom had surgery. My mom looked at me slowly. You paid that. I nodded. My dad glanced around the table like someone was playing a prank on him. Why would you do that? He said. I didn't answer immediately, because no one else did. Because someone had to. Because it was easier than explaining. My sister finally spoke. Well, that's nice of you, she said carefully. Something about the way she said it, like it was a small, generous gesture, made something settle in my chest. That's why I'm stopping, I said. My dad shook his head. You're being dramatic. I looked at him for a moment, then reached into my jacket pocket. The envelope had been there all evening. I hadn't planned to use it, but I also hadn't planned to hear the word failure again. I slid a few sheets of paper across the table. My dad glanced down at them without much interest. What is this? Transfers? I said. He squinted. My mom leaned closer. My sister hadn't moved. Those are the payments to you, I said, looking directly at her. For the first time that night, everyone looked at my sister instead of me. She stayed very still. My dad frowned again. What payments? I kept my voice even. About 6 years ago she needed help with a business investment. She said it was temporary. My sister finally spoke. That's not really how it added up, I continued. Over time, my dad picked up the papers. The numbers were printed in neat rows. Dates, transfers, notes. He read longer this time.
How much is this?
I answered quietly. About 110,000. The room changed after that. No shouting, no dramatic reaction, just a heavy kind of silence. My sister rubbed her forehead. It wasn't stealing, she said. It was complicated. I never said stealing, I replied, but the word had already landed in the room. My dad looked back and forth between us. You loaned her this, he asked. Yes, and she didn't pay it back. My sister shifted in her seat. I planned to, she said. Things got tight. My dad looked down again at the dates. Some of them were years old. Then he noticed something else. "These transfers," he said slowly. "They're after the ones to the house." I nodded. "Wes." He sat back. For a long moment he didn't speak. I realized something strange then. I didn't actually want anyone punished. I didn't even need the money back right now. What I wanted was for the story to stop being simple. Successful sister. Failure brother. It had never been that clean. My sister finally looked at me. "You could have reminded me," she said quietly. I shrugged. "I did. A few times." No one spoke after that. My dad folded the papers slowly and placed them on the table. Dinner ended not long after. No apologies. No big conversation. Just the quiet sound of chairs sliding back and people gathering their coats. When I stood to leave, my dad stopped me near the door. "You really paid all those bills?" he asked. I nodded. He looked like he wanted to say something else, but the words didn't come. So I left. Driving home, I felt something unfamiliar. Not victory. Just the absence of something heavy I'd been carrying for a long time. For the first time in years, the responsibility didn't feel automatic. And neither did the silence.